what is the first thing you want to know?
Yeah. So with Facebook ads, let's start there. What is the best way for people, to find me, to get to know me, and then at the end of the day, buy from me, or if anything, just, be there,
Yeah.
know that I'm there to help them.
So let's start this with tell me a little bit because I know you have a few different products and services and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So talk to me a little bit about sort of what you're selling, who you're selling to, and kind of what where the Facebook ads sort of fit into that for you.
Sure. So I just launched. I'm founder of Healthy Little Sleepers, and I've just launched an age specific program for families at a low price point because all my one on ones are super a much higher price point. And so I wanted to be able to offer the same type of services in a different realm for other people to really be able to get their hands on important information as well. So it's a digital in-home consult with me online. It's a one-on-one consult I give all my families, but it's age specific and it's built around, their development, what's going on with their sleep, and really helping them understand what's going on with sleep and set them up for success, whether it's newborn, 4 to 6 months, 7 to 11 months, 12 to 18, 19 months to 24 months. Everything changes within those age ranges, and I help them set them up for success. So, in launching this age specific course, there is a whole different audience in terms of who I am hoping to capture, right? A different market in terms of maybe income level or just in terms of a different avenue if they're interested in doing an online program, but it's with live support. And that's the whole thing. Any of my programs, it's not about going online and doing it going on your own. It's about going online and having continued support. So with these age specific courses come the Healthy Little Village, which is my private community where I go live every single day answering questions. And it's a big community where people are in the same kind of situation as you based on age. And there's topic boards. And it's a really great community. And that's what I've launched.
So when they buy, just so I'm clear, so they get a one-on-one consult with you,
They get a
or
digital one on one
they get
consult.
an
Both
act they get access to a video
of
basically explaining. Okay.
my one on one of everything
So
I
like an
go through.
on-demand video, right?
And then they
Specifically
get
for their target age.
right, and there's PDF downloads, there's bonus downloads, nap
Okay.
transition guides, like the full everything that they possibly need to move forward,
Gotcha.
plus support.
Gotcha. So they're getting a info product
Mhm,
at a high level, right? An info product, access to a community,
mhm,
right? On a daily basis. And
mhm.
in that community, you're in there every day. So they're getting some access to you within the context of that community, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay. And you are selling that for how much right now?
49 a month,
Okay.
$49 a month.
And is it month to month or is it
It's a
okay.
monthly subscription, so upfront you get the digital course, and this is the first time I'm launching, so the price is
Mm,
the lowest it will ever be.
right.
Um,
And is it available
and
right now or you're getting ready to launch?
no, it's available
No.
now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Um, so what was your question?
So they is it just month to month? So I pay
Oh, yeah.
$49, I get access,
Yeah,
and then
it's
I can
month to
cancel
month.
whenever I want
So
or keep it.
exactly. You can cancel whenever you want. The idea is that the needs change so
Mhm.
much that a lot of times it's about development. It's a lot of times naps have gone backwards or naps are still short. What can I do? So it's ongoing support. And at any point in time, they don't need it anymore. You cancel. And then if you need the next age group,
Mhm.
then you continue and then you get access to the next age group. As long as you're a member, you get access to the next age group.
Okay. And the ads that you're running right now, you are targeting cold audiences, warm audiences, people that know you or both or what?
I haven't run anything yet.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm at. This has all been more grassroots marketing, people
Okay.
who refer, hear me talk about it, one-on-one consults that don't necessarily want to pay the high price point or looking
Right.
just for some specific advice.
Gotcha.
Um,
But is the
that I have
idea you think when you do it, you think you're targeting sort of people who don't know you exist yet or a
correct.
combination?
A
Okay.
combination, because I think there's gonna be a group, that do know me, from other workshops that I've given, and then I think there's gonna be both warm targeting and, cold targeting because I want the new moms, and the biggest age range that people often join is the newborn and 4 to 6 months. There's
Yep.
people in the other age groups too, but that's, like,
Right.
the first
And
type
also
that I
there's
saw.
more in theory for you and for them, arguably. It's that the earlier on, the longer they're going to continue to need
Sure.
your help and support and et cetera. And
That's
in
the
some
whole
ways, the more value for them as well, because I assume the better they do earlier, the easier it gets as they
absolutely.
go. I have a few thoughts for you. And obviously this is, you could really go down the rabbit hole and we could spend 6 months working together trying to figure this out. And, obviously, especially when it comes to Facebook ads or Instagram ads, or for that matter, any kind of marketing, anything that I would say or any expert would say is all theoretical. Like so much of it is iteration, right? You put stuff out there, you see how your audience responds to it, and you sort of iterate as you go. But I think so where I'll start with this, and it's sort of a little bit on a sort of higher level, but I think will be helpful for you. So the first thing is, and this is true for anything, there are really three stages that require three separate strategies, right? So I think of them as discovery, connection, and monetization or sales, right? So on the discovery level, especially when and this is, by the way, true with paid ads or just organic marketing or anything you're going to do, right? You want to sit down and really just think of a specific strategy of how are you going to get people to discover that you exist, that the product exists, any of that, right? How are you going to get that sort of initial attention? I'll give some suggestions in a minute, but you want to say, like, this is my discovery strategy. The second strategy is connection, right? So you have a whole bucket of people who have now discovered you because your brilliant discovery strategy is working. But how do you get them? In most cases, they're not going to go straight from discovery to sales or buying, right? So some will, but a lot won't. So how do you get that people that discover you to connect to you in some way, right? Could
Mhm,
be a social follower. In most cases, ideally, it's an email list, it's a something, right?
mhm,
How do you turn someone who discovers you into a potential lead, basically? And that way, once you have that, you're able to build a relationship with them, build trust, connect with them over time, and drive them to the sale. And then the third is the monetization piece in sales, right? Once you have that connection, as you're building that trust, how do you actually push them over the line to, what is the strategy to take someone from, oh, Susie's really smart and I really like her newsletter, or I really like that blog post, or I like her Instagram account, to go from that to, like, I'm actually buying her product, right? Or I'm hiring her. So I think a lot of times people, when they're thinking about this strategically, they jumble all three together. I think it's actually helpful to pull them apart and go, this is how I'm going to get people to discover me. This is how I'm going to get the people that discover me to connect to me. And this is how I'm going to get the people that connect to me to buy from me. So again, each of these could get very involved, but I'll give you a few tips for each of those phases, right? So, first, we'll talk about discovery. The first thing I would say is, to the extent that you can, go where they already are, right? So, a lot of people are trying to get people to come to them, right? And they're like, "Oh, I'll just put stuff on my website and I'll put stuff even out on my social accounts and I'll use a couple hashtags and they'll find me," right? And that can happen. But the shortcut is figure out where they already are, whether that's communities, Facebook groups. I know you've probably already seen because I know you've been featured and done stuff all over the place, that my guess is that drives a lot of attention, right? Like you can, one cross promotion, collaboration, whatever, is just a shortcut to all that attention. So I think cross promotions, collaborations, going where these people, especially with your audience, I'm sure you know better than me, a million new moms, Facebook groups, and all that kind of stuff, right? I would go in there, I would go into those communities. I would not go in and just start promoting, hey, I've got this thing, blah, blah, blah. There are people in huge Facebook groups going, I can't get my kid to sleep, and just start answering those questions, right? And very quickly, people will go, oh, who's this woman? She's really helpful. what else? You're going to start building relationships, and you're going to start, when you do that, you have to remember that you're responding to one person, but all the other people in the group are seeing it. Even if they don't connect, they go, who's this person? Like, that was a really good tip. So that's my first thing. Go where the people are. That applies to podcasts as well, like podcasts for new moms and parents, or, women who are pregnant. I'm sure there's a million things out there where these people already are. And it takes a little time on your part and a little effort, but it's basically free, right? As opposed to the Facebook ads where you're, just sort of paying to get in front of people.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing that I would say in the discovery phase is I would think about ways that you can strategically leverage previous or existing clients of yours. Now, I'm sure you already do that, and I'm sure you have good word of mouth and it drives people your way. But I think even more specifically, do you create some kind of referral program? Do you reach out to people? Is there a thing where, baby shower gifts, right? Do you reach out to all your clients and go, hey, I have this new program. You could buy it for your friend who's pregnant as a baby shower gift, right? And I think that kind of messaging and leveraging that is going to be super powerful, as opposed to what a lot of times people do is they're very sort of passive about word of mouth. They just kind of figure like, yeah, everybody does. I'm the same way, right? By the way, I don't listen to half of my own advice. I should, right? But like, to actually reach out to them and both ask, but also incentivize them. Like, hey, just especially when you're launching a new program. Hey, I have this new thing. If you know anyone that's like, send them my way. And if you want, give them a cut of it, or whatever you want to do. So that's the discovery phase. On the connection phase, the big thing is all these people that you're getting in front of, you have to give them a reason to connect with you. And a lot of times people are like, get on my email list, get my newsletter, get my whatever. You want to be more specific and like, what are they going to get, right? What is the value? And again, I know we've talked and about your newsletter in the past. It's much better to sort of have a newsletter that provides value than just like get on my email list.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing I would say is, maybe you create a challenge at some point. Maybe challenge isn't the right word, but some kind of group effort. You could easily do a 3-day email sequence, 5-day email sequence that sort of, help your kid get a better night's sleep or whatever it is. Something that's free that people go, I'm giving my email address for that because I want to do that, right?
Mhm.
That no pun intended, but that baby step toward what you're ultimately going to sell them. And then community. So we're going to talk about this, I think, a little more, but right now your community is part of your paid product.
Mhm.
I'm not necessarily suggesting this, but it'd be an interesting thought exercise to think through. What if it wasn't?
Mhm.
What if people could join the community, or for example, maybe there's a free version of the community, but you only talk to the paid members, but that community becomes a draw for people that want to connect with others. So like I have a newsletter creators Facebook group that people are joining every day. It's up to like 4,000 members. I just created a place for them to hang out and connect with each other. And so it's one of the few times that Facebook's algorithm actually works in your favor.
Okay.
So I'm not necessarily suggesting you do that, but it's something to consider about what would happen if there was some sort of community or group that would lead people into your world. And maybe the
Right.
paid you can sort of figure that out.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
Monetization, just two quick tips about this. So one is you always want to make sure that you're selling what your audience wants, not just necessarily what you want or wanted to create, right?
Mhm.
I think you are, but it's definitely worth thinking through and sort of making sure that that's what you're doing. The other thing is I'm going to give you a book that I highly recommend you reading. There's a book, and it's going to sound like it's an sort of obnoxious title. I didn't expect to like it, but I love it. It's great.
Okay.
There's a book called $100 Million Offers by a guy named Alex Hermosi. And it is all about, to sell, you need to have a great offer. And it's all about how to express your offer and package and explain what that is. It's super tactical. it's based on like what he did helping gyms like sell memberships and all that kind of stuff, among other
Right.
things. Really good. Okay, so that's my crash course to everything you need to do to build your business in slightly more than 10 minutes.